Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Continuing on the train of making full videos for the 4 Warframes that got brand new augments in the Weaver update, today we are talking about Caliban. And I firmly believe that Caliban is now the best summoner in Warframe. In terms of all the other minion builds that we can do in the game, he with his Ortholis and the new augment is just much better than the rest of them. I don't really understand why some people have been saying this augment is not good because, oh yeah, just a meager 250,000 damage. They honestly killed all of them before I even grouped them. So yeah, he went from being a really good frame to a really good frame that has a separate build that focuses entirely on minions. And I really enjoy that. Because if we consider some of the other frames who can do similar stuff like Necros or Araxia's Scuttlers are cool. What the fuck? K-Drive? Okay. Araxia's Scuttlers are cool, but they don't really do much. Necros' minions are fine, but they need so many buffs to actually do something, and the spawning mechanics for them can be a little annoying. But Caliban has just a really easy gameplay loop that is also super strong, and it is a fun build inherently. So let me explain. Firstly, the augment, Razor Mortar. This is an augment that technically affects 2 of his abilities, the first being his first ability, Razor Gyre, and the second, his lethal progeny, specifically the Ortholis summon. The augment states that when you group enemies together with Razor Gyre, which it already does, the lethal progeny Ortholis will focus fire on them with 70% more electric damage and fire rate for 6 seconds. Now, this is one of the most synergistic augments in the game in my opinion because of all the things that are already happening here that the augment just adds on to. When you group enemies up with Razor Gyre, they are 1. Taking Tau status damage. Tau is a status that Caliban only deals, and it will increase the status chance vulnerability that the enemies have, which means that if they get hit with electric, it is more likely to trigger more electric procs for every one that is, generically triggered. Enemies being grouped up is also great too because electric is an AoE status, so any enemies within 3 meters of an electric proc triggered enemy will compound that damage on top of each other, which means this is yet again another quadratically scaling build. The more enemies you have grouped up, the more electric you have that are all hitting each other because they're grouped so tightly. The ragdoll mechanics also mean that each electric proc will hit each individual limb of the enemy, meaning that the damage here just gets so ridiculous. There are many other things Razor Gyre does though that make it just really good in general. It gives you health and shields for hitting enemies, which means you will never die because this ability is a free shield gate on every cast. It also refunds 25% of the energy used to cast it per enemy hit. And that is really unique because you would obviously only need to hit 4 enemies to entirely refund it, and typically you hit way more than that, but it will actually over-refund energy. So when combined with something like Nourish, you just generate an obnoxious amount of energy. It makes Caliban a very easy frame to run 45 efficiency on. I very much like it. The reason I have Nourish subsumed though is because the summons are actually buffed by it, which means they now get the extra viral damage and viral status chance, which is very good. They already deal Tau damage, which like the first ability will increase the amount of electric we trigger on them from the augment, but now we have so much viral that they would trigger a lot of this status too, which 1 gives them a damage multiplier to every enemy up to 325%, and against Orkin specifically a multiplier of 1.5. And 2, like I said, interacts really nicely with Razor Gyre to just give us infinite energy. The viral wave is not really that needed here, but we can, but we do still benefit from it because why not? Fusion Strike is really just used to armor strip a massive 52.5 meter radius area, and seeing as radius is only half of a circle, that becomes a 105 meter area of full armor strip, which is pretty damn good, multiplying our damage against these enemies by a hell of a lot more than we already had. So pretty much the gameplay loop here is summon in the Ortholis, buff them with Nourish. You can, if you want to, armor strip the enemies, and then group them all together, and the Ortholis should nuke them if the simulacrum enemies did not decide to be stupid. But looking at the actual gameplay, it's pretty damn good. The build we are running is quite simple. Something I missed last time somehow is using Summoner's Wrath in the aura. This gives the summons a 75% multiplicative damage buff like a Bane mod, but otherwise we are just running as high strength as possible. Range at 175 gives Razor Gyre a 17.5 meter area of grouping, and seeing as we move very fast while we cast it, it's technically a lot higher than that. You don't want to go super high though because it does kind of mess with it on some of these tighter tile sets. The super high strength is just to make the viral damage added to our companions a lot higher. The very high strength will actually actually multiply the base damage of the Ultilis by 7.45, which is very, very strong. And we're not even at maximum strength because we are using Arcane Kamisado and Augmented, which gives us another 120%. So technically, we are actually sitting at what, 418? That's a ridiculous amount of strength. Our summons are very, very powerful with that. Also with the added viral damage from Nourish. The Augment right now only gives 208% electric and fire rate, but with the added 120% strength, that also shoots up a hell of a lot more. Your summons honestly just deal so much damage. I wouldn't be surprised if with the armor strip they could level cap easily, because electric is a really nicely scaling status and you'll have like, I don't know, 300% of it being added onto your companions. I am using Primed Redirection to increase his shields up to 1820. If you didn't know, his passive gives you a sort of like weakened adaptation of only 50%, but you cannot stack the two together. So just running this because we refill our shields with Razor Gyre means that we pretty much never die. Duration of 128 just means these guys last for 57 seconds, which is almost a minute. Nourish lasting 31.8, and this ability lasting 19.1. You don't really need this one for base steel path, but it is just there if you want to use it. The rest of your loadout really doesn't matter because your summons do all the work for you. Archon shards wise, at least one casting speed is really appreciated, and then I am using an energy max shard, but this isn't really needed. Praetos for the movement speed benefits are super nice though, because it will make you move a lot faster in Razor Gyre, and then Xenoric is a comfy focus school. Companion wise, I would just recommend using a Nautilus Prime. There's nothing there that interacts with these summons particularly, but it will just group enemies closer to you so you have a higher chance to pick them up with Razor Gyre, and that is it. I'm not the biggest summons player in the game. If my Nautilus could get the fuck out my face, bro, leave me alone. This is why I hate using these companions. But this build is a lot easier of a summons build and an actually functional one relative to so many of the other Warframes that technically do like good summon builds. So I'm going to be running it on my Caliban a lot just because it's fun. Hope you enjoyed this one, enjoy the gameplay, and I will see you all very soon for Citrine and then Jade, or Jade then Citrine, I don't really know. We shall see. Peace.